All right, all. It's you from QLC. Welcome back. I'm gonna be frank. I've been seeing on social media about all of these relationship gurus being ousted as frauds one way or another. Honestly, I don't really care for people like that. Whatever's going on in their lives is none of my business. But two names stuck out to me. They're both African American. They're both living in the States, and they're both well known. There's a lady called Michaela Pink. Apparently, she was telling her followers that you should never date a blue collar man, never date a poor man, only a high value man. She's saying that it's okay for somebody who's a single, 40 plus years old, with, maybe their own kids, with no husband, to go find, a rich guy, but never date a blue collar guy. Uh, Apparently, she was found to be laundering money. And there was other crimes that she was accused of. And honest to God, I don't care, but I find it hilarious that so many women, so many people, really, just you get tempted to follow somebody because they say the right things or things that resonate with you, and then it turns out that they're frauds, and then there's nothing you can do. This woman would be selling people dreams that it doesn't matter how old you are or what your past was, you can always get the best of the best men. Here's the issue with that, and the only issue that I'm gonna talk about. Uh, it's not that men and just men are superficial, it's that most people are superficial. God knows 99% of women want like the top 1% of men. Some people say it's 80-20 or 90-10, but let's face it, like most women want, the richest, the biggest, the tallest, the strongest, the best looking. And why wouldn't they? Like everybody wants the best of the best. Why wouldn't they? I have no issue with that, but it is what it is. So men with common sense, they go out of their way, not for the sake of women, but for the sake of their own mental health and for their own, self-confidence. They want to be the best for the best of the best. And, part of them realizes that if they become the best of the best, then more women will be attracted to them. So conversely, of course, if let's say if you are a bloke who's a multi-millionaire or a billionaire, entrepreneur, or really a successful guy, are you gonna go for a single mom who's like 45 years old with like two adult kids with a bad dating history, or are you gonna go for like a 21-year-old almost virgin who, just wants to get married right away, be an obedient wife? I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure most of those type of guys would prefer the latter. Is it my fault? Is it your fault? No, it's just the way it is. But this lady's out here selling this pipe dream to perhaps millions of women, and you know it's not just her, it's another relationship coach that I'm going to talk about, this guy called Derek Jackson or whatever the hell his name is. It's like his fake surname is spelled Jaxn. I don't know why. I don't care. It is what it is. This man, I've seen his stuff, his content on Facebook, not much on YouTube, where he gets inside his car. He talks about how to be the perfect gentleman, how to attract the perfect gentleman. Says that guys should treat women with respect, love, woo them, court them, do all that white knight stuff, which I don't entirely agree with because I made a previous video about why you shouldn't go out of your way to be overly nice to women, especially women that aren't that into you. Now, I'm not saying don't be pleasant to women, but don't overdo it. Don't overcompensate for your insecurity about not being able to get her by being too nice. Because women will be put off by that. They want somebody who's honest. They want somebody who's real. They're not looking for somebody who's nice for the sake of being nice. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't know too much about Derek, I don't know too much about Michaela, and I don't really care about him. But I don't like the fact that, people like Derek and people like Michaela, they be out here to, selling people these fantasies that we still live in a world where if you give a woman roses and if you're a white knight and if you treat women like they're queens, that you'll automatically get what you deserve. You get that love reciprocated, because God knows 99% of the time that is not the case, especially if you're an average fellow. What's average? You're not the richest, you're not the best looking, you're not the strongest, you're okay, you're an ordinary. I'm sorry, you're gonna get your heart broken, gentlemen. Like, and in this feminist world that we're living in, doesn't matter what you look like, doesn't matter what your past is, most women think they're perfect tens because they're told they are. It's a mixture of all the feminist propaganda that, all women are queens, and, you know, there's second chances and third chances for a woman, and that all men are evil. All this, it's not all men, but we should be wary of all men, partly because of everything that happened to that young woman, Sarah, rest in peace. Um, that idiotic copper that did what he did to her, I hope he burns in hell. I honestly do. But because of the Sarah stuff that happened in London, that young lady that died, that was murdered. There's been rumors that they're gonna do 6 p.m. curfews. There's been rumors that they're gonna ban protests because it was a protest at the vigil. Um, you know, her Sarah's vigil. There's rumors that there's gonna be police enforcement in pubs and clubs and bars so that men don't get too close to women. And I'm thinking, wait, a police officer may have murdered this woman, allegedly. And you're telling me you're going to use police officers to enforce laws to get guys to stop moving to girls? Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But I sidetrack yet again. I sidetrack because we're being sold this dream that all women are queens, and if you treat them like queens, you'll get love back. No, you don't. You don't. If you treat them like a queen, they'll treat you like a servant. Just like if a woman treats you like a king, you're gonna be tempted to treat her like a servant. Just treat people with mutual respect and be honest with people. And I'm sure, in my opinion, I'm sure you'll get a long way further along than just lying to people or being overly nice for no reason. Just, it's pathetic. You got all these relationship gurus. I think I spoke on social media sometime before, possibly in one of these videos, about how annoying these fake gurus are, or these gurus that tell you that you can make money in 6 months, you can make 8 figures in 6 months, all this nonsense, all this yes. But now there's also that I've seen, there's a lot more relationship gurus that have actually been around for a long time, telling men and women how to act so that they can be in loving relationships. Some of them speak from the heart, and some of them are just trying to sell you a book. Like this Derek guy, I don't like what he does right now because he's supposedly cheated on his wife multiple times. Then he goes and does an apology video. You know, when you have to do an apology video because your fans are let down by what you used to be or who you used to be, they try to cancel him. This man, he never had his wife in any of his videos. Then he's holding her hand, clasping it like she's a hostage, you know, telling everybody, I love my wife. I'm holding myself accountable for the stuff I used to do. I don't do it anymore because his mistress outed him as a cheater for clout, I guess. Uh so, and then after he does a video apologizing to his fans, saying, "Oh, I used to be a bad boy, but I've changed. Do you want to know how? Check out my book." He wants to sell his godforsaken book. Then he goes and makes a reaction video while he's filming himself in his car, reacting to the original video in which he apologizes to his fans. And in both mother flipping videos, he refers to himself in third person. So imagine I'm making this video and I'm saying, oh, Hugh did this, Hugh did that. And then I react to this video and I'm saying, oh, Hugh made a good point there when Hugh said that Hugh did this. I don't know if this guy has some sort of narcissistic personality disorder, or maybe I'm full of it. I don't know. Maybe he's just really stressed because of the image that he has to uphold as this pro feminist relationship guru. And I don't think there's a lot of those, because there's a lot of relationship gurus that are about red pill and, you know, understanding female nature and hypergamy and all this wahala. And then there's also a lot of women and men telling uh people, particularly black people in America, hey, it doesn't matter if you were arrested. It doesn't matter if you slept with 50 guys. You can date the hottest, richest guy. I'm like, okay, if it's true, it's true, but I doubt it, because people that are at the top of the dating food chain have higher standards. They're not like most people. It's very rare for a billionaire who's buff and pretty and male who to date somebody who's like post-war. Now, I don't really care about these terminologies, and I don't even remember the point I'm making. I'm not gonna lie to you, except for the fact that you shouldn't be looking up to these people. You shouldn't see them as heroes. They're not your heroes. They're just a bunch of people that are trying to sell you their image or sell you a book or sell you a course and how to be a better man or how to be a better woman or how to get a better woman or how to get a better man. And it's nonsense because what they're telling you, get level up, get your money right, get your body right so you can attract the perfect mate. And then they're out here, one of them's money laundering and the other one's cheating on their wife. And then the one that cheated on his wife, Derek, he spoke about in another video a few years ago how he has no sympathy for men that cheat on their wives. Bro, that just makes you, I'm sorry, but it makes you look like a hypocrite. He's the type of guy that says black men don't cheat, black men shouldn't treat. Oh, black men this, black men that, black men should be white knights. Black men know full well not to be white knights because we live in a society where black men are constantly being looked at as just a skin color, just a hashtag, just a stereotype. White people think we're a fetish or a victim or a thug, and black people think, especially black women, when they look at us, they don't think that we're anything of importance. Like it's that old saying, I'm get I'm I can't say the N word. I'll just rhyme it with something. Triggers ain't the S word. Nah, that sucks. Just when they say that it is ain't that's what they say about black people. I'll make it rhyme. Biggers ain't hit. What rhymes with that? That's what they say about black men. I think I made a video about it before. It was actually the BLM video where black women have just been brainwashed into thinking that black men are nothing, are nobodies. So, and it's partly because of these blue pill relationship gurus that talk about how if you're gonna date a black man, you gotta date a high value black man. You gotta date someone who's white collar or rich or successful. Even though Derek was out here cheating on his wife and what the hell was her name? Michaela was out here single, unmarried, talking about, oh, this is how to get married. Now, I don't want to get married right now, if ever, but you know, if I were to get advice about how to be in a happy marriage, I'm not gonna listen to the advice of a guy that's cheated on his wife a bunch of times and then refers to himself as third person as if it's a Jekyll and Hyde situation where Jekyll didn't do anything wrong, but Hyde did. Bruce Banner didn't do anything wrong, but the Hulk did. Oh, Derek Jackson did it. Derek Jackson did it, and then oh God, it's just wrong. It's just wrong on so many levels. And the funny thing is, when it comes to these relationship gurus, if like the lady Michaela, there'll be people supporting her saying, oh, maybe she made a mistake, we still love her. There'll be black women supporting Derek Jackson because he's good, I presume financially successful, businessman, wifed up, tall. I presume ladies think he's good looking, big, bulky, dark skinned guy. They're thinking, oh, Derek made a mistake. We still love him. I'd be his mistress. You know how most people are. When the celebrities do bad things, they feel bad for the celebrities and think, oh, do you know what? Maybe, I could see where they're coming from. But please don't follow these type of people. I don't care about Derek. I don't care about Michaela, whatever the hell her name is. I just don't like when people are told lies and fed lies. You could tell this is a rant. I am trying my best to just pull all my thoughts together and make it coherent for you, but I'm struggling, so that's my bad. Regarding the Sarah situation, Sarah Everard, again, my condolences to her, her family, her friends, her boyfriend, everybody that loved her. I know it's a troubling time for all people concerned, but blaming all men is not the answer. It's never the answer. And as a black dude, I look at the rhetoric that they use. Oh, we know it's not all men, but it could be any man. It's the same nonsense that they use to disrespect people of like different ethnic groups. Is like when white people say, "Oh, it's we know it's not all black people, but you can never tell. It's not all black people, but." It's like homophobic people when they diss LGBT people. It's like, oh, I don't hate gay people. I don't hate LGBT people. No, whatever. It's like when Trump was dissing Mexican people, saying, they bring their drug dealers, they bring their rapists, but I presume that some of them are good people. It's like don't just flipping don't. 99% of the men, if not 100% of the men that I know, wouldn't do to any woman what, well, definitely 100% of the guys that I know personally would not do to any girl what, or to any woman what that copper, that police officer did to Sarah. Not one. And I'm sure most guys in the world wouldn't do what to any woman what somebody did to Sarah. It would be terrible. Now, you have to be honest. I'm not even looking at the camera. I'm just looking at a distance because I find it hard to look at the camera sometimes. And you know why? Because it's just a lot of my mind. I haven't been recording anything in the last few weeks. Obviously, I've temporarily privatized my videos so that I can figure out where this channel is going, because there's a lot of nonsense happening right now. There's a lot of stuff happening in the world. There's protests. I heard there was a protest in Bristol. Uh, it killed the bill protests, and then some Tory MP was like, "Bomb Bristol," and I'm like, Jesus Christ, why would you say that? I'm sure that should be banned on Twitter, but he's not going to get banned. Maybe he will be, who knows? And I'm still peeved. I'm still peeved over the whole Matt Hancock situation. I really am. The man took billions of pounds of taxpayers' money. It could have gone into furlough. It could have gone into the NHS. It could have gone into the British people. It could have gone into alleviating people's debt issues or rent issues, because a lot of people haven't been able to pay rent or pay off debts because their pay has been cut in half or destroyed because of the lockdowns. They can't go and work or get better jobs or new business. The man gave over £270 million to a company, PPE Moderno Limited, whatever the hell it was called, 3 weeks after it was established and listed on gov.uk slash the company's house. It's an institution where you can list a company that you've created. Company's house. It's a list of all the companies in Britain. A company was created 3 weeks before it was given a 270 something £1 million PPE contract, and the damn firm was called PPE Moderno Limited. Now, listen, I'm no expert in these matters, but that sounds like a bloody scam. Sounds like fraud to me. Sounds like fraud to me. This different reports say different things. Some say 4, some say 8, some say 22. I don't know how many, but billions of dollars, multiple billions of pounds sterling have been taken from us and given to Tory donors, cronies, people affiliated with members of the Tory party via dummy corporations and shell corporations that technically don't really exist. I mean, think about it, people. That company I just mentioned, 3 weeks. It existed for 3 weeks. It got a £270 million bloody contract. The man went on Good Morning UK or whatever the hell it's called and looked Suzanne and Piers in the eye and said, I do it again. These people ripped off the nation, used the lockdowns as an excuse to fund billions into the pockets of their best mates that donated to the Tory party or that are affiliated with the Tory party in one way or another. Billions. I can't stress this enough. Nothing will ever be done about this. Not one bloody thing. And what the British media want you to talk about instead is the fact that the royal family, uh, family that is notorious for conservative, incestuous inbreeding. I don't know how I put those three things together, and forget the conservative bit. A family that is notorious for incestuous inbreeding, how they would be a little bit concerned with the offspring of one of their own and a mixed race lady that is not of noble or royal blood. They're concerned with that. This is a family that, like the Queen, is a direct descendant of Queen Victoria, who married her first cousin. Imagine me marrying my cousin and having a bunch of kids, and they have a bunch of kids. Bro, that's illegal in a lot of places in the world. It's illegal. It's illegal. I ain't dissing the royal family, but it is what it is. But they're tripping over a baby's skin complexion. And Meghan is light-skinned and mixed race anyway. Not to mention Queen Charlotte. Like, that happened. They want you talking about Prince, Harry, and Meghan no longer wanting to be royals. They don't want you talking about Prince Andrew. They don't want you talking about Epstein. They don't want you talking about Matt Hancock. They don't want you talking about the fact that a copper killed a 33-year-old lady in Clapham. Well, she was in Clapham Common, apparently, and then he took her to Kent. She was buried in Kent. They don't want you to talk about the fact that a copper killed her, allegedly, and then coppers stormed the vigil after feminists took over the vigil and made it about themselves. And then I don't agree with protesters making the vigil about themselves as opposed to letting the family and friends grieve. But at the same time, I also don't agree with how the police officers treated the bloomin' young ladies that were at the vigil, putting their flipping knees on them. What is it about? No offense to the good police officers around the world, but what is it with police putting their goddamn knees on people? I'm sure there's a better way of restraining somebody than putting your bloody knee on their back, on their neck. Why? And another thing, you have to understand, according to what we've seen, that bloke that allegedly killed that young lady, he had a female accomplice. And he had prior incidents where he was flashing people and doing all this sexual stuff that wasn't necessary. He had a female accomplice. No one mentions her. No one mentions her name. The lady, Cressida Dick, whatever the hell her name is. I don't care if I screw up the names today. This is an impromptu video. Cressida Dick, she's the commissioner of the Met Police. She's a lady. Priti Patel, her bloody name, I don't give a damn. She's a senior Tory MP. These two ladies are in charge of putting the police, making the police enforce this nonsense on these women. Everything with the anti-protest bill, that's on them. These two ladies are making it harder for people to protest their rights. But almost nobody wants to talk about that. The man that killed that young lady allegedly had a female apprentice. Did I say apprentice? I meant to say female accomplice. No one wants to have that conversation. No one wants to have it. They just want to have the conversation where they want to blame all men for everything because abolish the patriarchy. But there's no such bloody thing as the patriarchy now. There used to be when like 100+ years ago, you had to be over 21 and have a plot of land to be able to vote. Now everybody can vote. There's no patriarchy anymore. This patriarchy that you think exists, most white people don't profit from it. Ethnic minorities, poor people, working class, they don't profit from it. I live in Great Britain. Mining used to be a big deal in this country, and then it was destroyed. Destroyed. The Northerners, mining was one of their big things. It was destroyed because of Thatcher's plan to turn London into not a manufacturing, of course. Manufacturing was another big industry in the UK, but those two industries were destroyed by the Tory party in the 80s because Thatcher, a lady, she decided to destroy those industries because she wanted London to be the finance hub of Europe as opposed to the manufacturing hub. For whatever reason. You know, a lady in charge of the British government at that time. Just like there's a lady who is the queen, who is our monarch, not a man. The senior MPs, some of them are women. Theresa May was our last prime minister before our current one. There's no such thing as the patriarchy. Women are screwing over women when they get to high positions of power just as much as men do. It's nothing to do with a patriarchy. It doesn't exist. I need to stop with the rambling and go to bed or do something else useful. I will see you guys another time. I hope you enjoyed this ramble and that it made sense to you somehow. Like my stuff, I will re-release my videos. I'll remove them from private. I just wanted to hide them for a little while I figured out what I was doing with the channel. Turns out, still thinking about it, still developing the new stuff. So I'll speak to you lot soon. Bye.